for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Zspot. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys, VenmFire here, back on the video, and today we bring you guys another Madden 21 pass defense. This one is going to be out of the nickel 3-3-5 formation. So 3-3-5, we've been going over 3-3-5 wide a lot, but nickel 3-3-5 is still a very good formation, and it is still used by a lot of people. Overall, it's just a little bit different than 3-3-5 wide, but it still is a lot of fun to run, and it's almost becoming off meta at this point with how many people are just running 3-3-5 wide. So we're going to be in the 4-6 defensive playbook, as you guys know. Just in case you wanted to flip through mid-play or mid-game, you could easily switch between these two. The good thing about stock nickel 3-3-5 is that you don't have to audible really at all, so we're not going to be having to switch around, audible here, audible there. It really is just clean, simple stuff, and it is a pretty basic formation. Now our actual adjustments are going to be a little bit complicated, but again, that's not too much, and overall I think if you can get them down, you will be fine. Also, before we get into the video, make sure you guys do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, so if you're new, you're enjoying the content, go ahead, hit that sub button. About 75% of you guys that are watching are not subscribed, so if you could hit that sub button, it would be much appreciated. But let's start out, let's adjust our zone drops. I'm going to go curl flats 25, and I'm going to go flats 5. You can leave auto flip on. It is a nickel formation. We do want auto flip on. And yeah, so the play we're actually going to be running is going to be cover 3 cloud. I feel like that sets us up the best for the adjustments that we're going to do. You could also run out of a stock cover 3. But then again, it's going to be a lot of flipping around. This cover 3 cloud does set us up in a pretty good spot. You guys will see that once we hop into it. So cover 3 cloud at the bottom. I'm just going to be running some gun bunch here on offense. Let's go with some flood. I'll set up a little bit of these audibles. Z-spot. Let's go bench pivot, and then I will run flood. So here we are out on the field. Again, I already have these safeties here. I don't have to audible, so all I'm going to do for our first setup is just going to press. Now, positioning is pretty key in a formation like nickel 3-3-5. If I just come out like this, I have a bigger chance to get the ball ran on me. So what I like to do, just as my base defense out of 3-3-5 formation, is again, I press my defensive backs. Then I like to just pinch my D-line, and I like to spread my linebackers. I just feel like this sets us up better. It looks a little bit cleaner just from a visual standpoint. And overall, I think it would benefit you the best. So hopping into our adjustments, what you're going to go ahead and do first is we're going to adjust that left side of the field, that strong side of the field. So what you're going to do, put X in a outside quarter. Now, I like the outside quarter better than the outside third. It's going to jump better routes. It's not match coverage, but even though it's not match coverage, it still does play the outside better. Now, when you're playing an outside quarter, you're susceptible to getting beat deep on that side. The outside quarter is a very aggressive zone. It's going to jump a lot of things. So to kind of counteract that, what we're going to go ahead and do is throw that Y, our free safety here, in a deep half. Now, the reason I like cover 3 cloud is you see he's already in the inside third, so it's just going to be a simple adjustment, and we still have some good base coverage on the right side of the field. As far as your next adjustment on that left-hand side, what you're going to do now is you're going to throw X, our X linebacker on the left, in a hard flat zone. So just like this. Now, I would definitely recommend this over against a bunch type formation. This would work against a bunch tight end as well, rather than a trips, just because trips is a little bit more spread out. It's less corner out based, more crosser to post route based. So something like this might not work against that. There's ways you can adjust it, but again, this is mainly against bunch. You can obviously adjust anything to defend any formation that you like, but the next thing you're going to go ahead and do is create some man coverage. So I'm just going to man up B on B, our outside corner I'm referring to, our B cornerback. Then over here on the right, I'm going to man up the running back. So basically anybody that could go to the flats or in the flats is going to be taken care of, besides maybe a drag route. Now, the next thing you're going to go ahead and do is just put this A inside third, or this A strong safety in an inside third. So here's a look at our adjustments. So again, that does seem like a lot. Just kind of go ahead and review. We're putting that outside corner in an outside quarter zone. We're putting that free safety in a deep half. We're putting the strong safety in an inside third. We're manning up those 2 players, and then we're just throwing this player in a hard flat. So a total of around 6 adjustments. I do recommend that you practice the adjustments if you don't have them down. This could seem like a lot, but again, you have to make a lot of adjustments in this year's game to have success. So this is going to be the best way to run it. Now your responsibility is going to be defending any crossers, usually from left to right. That's become becoming less and less popular in a gun bunch offset or any kind of gun bunch. It's very corner out based, so you won't really see too many crossers or post routes from left to right. The occasional one you have to pay attention for, but against something like flood, for example, even if I put the running back on like a wheel route, you will see that the coverage is going to be very, very good against something like that. So we'll go ahead and snap the ball here. I'm just going to kind of look. No one's going there. I'm going to lurk down that out route, and boom, we get the sack. So again, you're obviously looking for quick routes deep. You can kind of tell when a route is going to be on a deep post, recognize it very early. Where you're going to look with your eyes is going to be that bunch right off the bat. But again, you can't really hot route a deep post from there. An intermediate post will not get open, but you're still going to have to use it because, again, we don't have a curl flat or a hard flat on that side. So that is something that you do kind of got to worry with. And again, you can always adjust this. And there will be a two-man rush version as well to kind of balance out that. So again, our adjustments for this first setup was to press our defensive backs. We pinched our D-line and we spread our linebackers. Again, that's kind of base stuff. But next, you're going to throw X in an outside quarter, deep half Y, inside third A, hard flat X, man up B, and man up Y. So just like this. Again, I can set it up pretty quickly in about probably probably around 3 seconds, I would say. Again, this is just the first way to run it. You got a three-man rush. You're going to get some good pressure. But again, this isn't perfect coverage. There are some holes. For example, if you were to like maybe hitch RB and then just throw like a post behind that, that would be very difficult for me to use her. I would kind of have to lurk on the post, head up, or lurk on the hitch, head up to the post, and from there, he can throw it back to the hitch. With the three-man rush, you're going to get quicker pressure, so that's not too big of an issue. But let's show a Z-spot type setup. So I'm going to set up basically the same here. For whatever reason, my linebacker did kind of reset in his positioning, so we'll just move him back to where he's supposed to be, right about here on the hash mark. But here's my Z-spot setup. You see out route, going to be defended relatively well. That could get maybe an inch of separation just from the hard flat, so you can always move that out further. But as far as the drag, we have the running back blocked. Everything is defended well. Now, a lot of people do block their running back in bunch, so it's not too terrible just to have him manned up, because if he is manned up, the player that's in man coverage assignment is going to kind of play QB spy role. He's going to kind of defend quick drags, spies. He's going to kind of act as a QB spy. So he's going to work on hitches, underneath routes, basically. So again, that could be useful. You will see how he's going to defend it. He's just going to act as a QB spy. Now, for whatever reason, he's kind of ran wild there to begin with, but you see coverage pretty well. Goff did break a sack. Apparently, he has that kind of strength, but you see the coverage well, defending the corner out. Now, one kind of small issue with this is that when you press, that slot cornerback is not super far out. So if you're getting hit with that a lot, you could just flip these zones. I could throw Dangerfield in the curl flat, and I would put L1 in the hard flat, and then go with our adjustments from there. That would be a simple fix. Now, also, if you're wondering why I'm putting this player in inside third rather than leaving in a deep half, out of bunch, you're not expecting too many routes to be open deep on the right. I'm more so expecting something up the middle. And also from the strong safety spot, he's going to kind of rotate. So he's looking like a deep half, and then he's going to end up defending the middle of the field. You can force people into mistakes. Also, one last thing that I didn't really mention that I should have is that you should go ahead and shade over the top as well. You have pressed and man, you should shade over the top. The cloud flat's going to play the same as a hard flat, and you will see. So let's go with bench pivot here. I'll go with a relatively basic setup. Zig RB, fade X, something like this. And again, if he's just blocking his running back all day, you see that our guy right there is playing some pretty good coverage. Again, very quick pressure. Obviously a good defensive line, but yeah. So again, what I mentioned, you saw Cooper Kupp had some separation there. We recognize that. That's why I mentioned that you kind of got to start off using here. You're not worrying about anything quick on the right side. Anything that's going to get open on the right is going to have to come from the left side. That's something that you know and that you can take advantage of. So let's hop into a two-man pressure setup. Some people like this two-man pressure a little bit better than the three-man, so we'll hop into some things that you could do with it. Again, I'm just going to set it up basically the exact same way here. Here is a look at what we're doing. Forgot to man up the running back, but here's a look. Now, the alternative would be to put one of your defensive linemen in a zone with a two-man pressure. Now, as far as your options here, I could get some help over the middle of the field, which allows me to completely focus on kind of this right side of the field. I could throw X in a bluff blitz, Cameron Hayward there. I could do that. I could also throw TJ Watt in a bluff blitz as well, coming from that right side. So you have options. If I were to go with a bluff blitz adjustment, I would probably 100% throw it with Cameron Hayward or anyone, your D lineman to the bunch side, we'll say that. Now, as far as putting him in a zone, what you could do is throw TJ Watt in a curl flat. That's going to give you some help deep. He's going to drop back and then giving me time to focus on the middle of the field. So again, I'll go with flood here. We'll snap the ball. You see TJ's going to drop. Coverage really well there, and we still do get a sack. So if there were to be a crosser or a post that would be defended, I can kind of lurk on the post. I can kind of ski away from it there, and then I would be able to go on a post. So for like a mesh post option, but again, you're not really seeing too much of that in today's game. Let's go with PA dig fork, because this would be a one play that I have to kind of pay attention to, but even then, the middle third's going to defend it really well. He's going to need a lot of time to complete a play like PA dig fork. Again, I'll set up that two-man rush setup just to give you guys a look at it, but I'll show you how you kind of got to user these things. Again, same adjustments that we've been running. And again, I can either go with a 3-rec hook. In this case, if he's going with a lot of post combos, maybe I go with a 3-rec hook on that bunch side with Cameron Hayward. And then if I were to go with, let's just create a kind of basic route combo, something like this, where we have the hitch, we have a backside flat, and then we have that backside kind of in route. Again, I'm going to smart route this post. But I would expect Cameron Hayward here to defend that hitch pretty well. He might not stick on him like glue, but he should kind of help us out here. So we'll see. Oh, I kind of recognize the deep post, and you see how, even if I throw it here, that's a click on interception. So you really have to wait. You really have to have a lot of time in the pocket. Now, if you see him going with a lot of long developing plays, it's probably a better option to just send the 3 because you have a bigger chance to get pressure, or just make an adjustment based on what he's doing. If he's not putting any routes in the middle of the field, I can go with a deep half adjustment instead of that inside third. But overall, I think it's one of the best base defenses, especially out of this 3-3-5, using it with our advantages in coverage, mixing up man and zone, which is probably the best way to play defense this year. You guys should know that. But yeah, it's going to do for the video. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos, and follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below in the description. And peace. I'm out of here.